Hey guys, welcome back. This is your host Phil from underKG.com, and today we're gonna learn pretty much all the things about the new iPhone XS Max. So this is what it looks like. It's a big phone. It replaces the iPhone 8 Plus. They almost have the same physical dimensions, except for the fact that the Max has a lot larger screen estate. You can see that the bezel-less design yields a lot of space for the display to take. The rear looks like this with the new gold color, with the dual camera, LED flash, secondary microphone, Apple logo, iPhone logo, and the wireless charging through the glass back panel. Overall, it's a clean, futuristic design. It feels very solid with the side metal band. Weather protection is upgraded from IP67 to IP68. The only few of my complaints is that the camera bump is quite noticeable, along with the sharp edges around the corner, and the fact that the phone is very heavy at 208 grams. Now, for that heavy weight, you get compensated with the screen, and the Samsung-built AMOLED panel is incredibly good. The brightness, outdoor legibility, color management, color accuracy, everything is excellent. It's a stunning panel. I especially like the True Tone feature. When turned off, it's almost exactly 6500K. When turned on, it's gonna read the surroundings and match the color to it. I'm still not a fan of that notch design, but I'm somewhat used to it now that a lot of Android phones have it, so yeah. Performance-wise, it's got the Apple A12 Bionic chipset, which is even faster than the A11 Bionic that a lot of competing chipsets are still struggling to match its power. Everything launches really fast, starting from the stocks, close it, weather, close it, calculator, close it, and multitasking between all of these apps is really smooth. Although it shouldn't come as a surprise since older phones work fine anyway, but the 3D games and AI-related tasks like the Face ID and lock, which is even faster, will definitely show some differences. Just like its sibling, it's got 4GB of RAM and up to 512GB of built-in storage. And first ever in iPhone, this is a dual SIM device. Most of the regions are going to get eSIM plus physical nano SIM, while China, Macau, and Hong Kong is going to get physical dual SIM capability. Software-wise, it runs the iOS 12, which is designed for the speed and efficiency. Some of the new features include the new Animoji features like tongue recognition, and you can create your own called the Memoji. There's that idea of screen time telling you how many minutes or hours you have spent on each of the field of apps and how much above or below that amount of time is against the average. You can set the time away from the screen. You can set the app-based limits. There's that parental control along with content and privacy restriction for some of the contents. The Photos app is now even smarter with people recognition, and it's gonna suggest to share the photos that you have taken with someone else without having you to choose each of the photos on your own. It knows the photos that you might want to share. And about those photos, they're taken through the dual camera system on the back. They got bigger sensors, so naturally better photos. You can launch the app with the 3D touch right there. The biggest thing this time is called the Smart HDR. It allows you to take better highlights and detailed shadow. And this thing is incredible, especially the low lighting photos, which has been the weak spot prior to the iPhone 8, 8 Plus, and 10, but not anymore. I can't call the low lighting photos the best in the industry, but this is a lot better than the predecessors. There's the issue with over beautifying the faces, but it's going to be addressed in the future updates. And portrait mode especially is a lot more enhanced. Edge recognition is simply great. Portrait photos turn out really beautifully. And now there is a bokeh control after shooting the photo, so you can control the depth of field after you take the photo. And if you're a selfie person, rest assured, it works on the selfie mode as well, and it comes with a rich amount of detail. And it's not only the photo. There is 4K 60 FPS video, which is still not very common, and the front-facing camera now takes full HD 60 frames per second video. And finally, it supports stereo audio recording. Overall, I was really satisfied with the camera experience. Few of my complaints is that the selfie camera angle could have been wider. When taking goofies, there were too little space. And also the secondary camera by its design is not too bright. So portrait mode photos in low lighting conditions are still dark and noisy, so there's some room for improvements. And what about the audio department? Just like other recent devices, this one also lacks the headphone jack. And even worse, Apple decided to take out that converting adapter that was included in the iPhone X's packaging. So now you have to buy separately if you want one, or just use the AirPods, who knows. Thankfully, the output through the wired adapter is really good, and so is a pair of stereo speakers right there and there. They're loud, they're tight in bass, and level of detail is just incredible for a sound from the phone. And about that battery, Apple claimed that the iPhone XS Max lasts a little longer than the iPhone XS, but in my everyday uses, it was around the same 7 hours to 7.5 hours of screen on time. Of course, it may vary depending on what you do with your phone, but what's not gonna vary is that it takes a very long time to charge the phone. Yes, the phone still comes with the 5 watts of teeny tiny charging brick. It does support fast charging, but it's going to cost you extra. And of course, the phone supports fast wireless charging that is 7.5 watts, and that also takes around 3 hours to fully charging the phone. Although for both of the charging methods, first 1/3 or 1/2-ish is going to be a lot faster than the latter half. So that was all the details with the iPhone XS Max, and here we are with the conclusion. The iPhone XS Max is a very nice phone. It's well built, it's blazingly fast, it's got beautiful screen, it takes professional looking photos. I like all these features, but I don't necessarily want to suggest the iPhone XS Max to everybody. Firstly, this thing is expensive. The base price for the 64 gigs model is $1099. That is over $1,000 for the base model, and that's even without the taxes. And the 512 gigabytes of storage equipped top model costs $1449. That's a MacBook price right there. And to me, it sounds insane. Secondly, as I said, this is heavy. 208 grams of heavy. That is heavier than already heavy iPhone 8 Plus. It's also got a pretty bad weight balancing, just like its predecessor. So with the case attached, it was almost painfully heavy. So yeah, it definitely is a very good phone. But unless you absolutely need that massive screen, I think most of you are going to be much happier with the smaller iPhone XS. It's even cheaper, by the way. Still expensive, but cheaper, $100 cheaper. So that was the iPhone XS Max. It's heavy, it's expensive, it's a good phone, but not my cup of tea. Thank you always for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments. You can always meet us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. We'll see you guys later. Ciao.